What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my UFC Fight Night Hamburg, Germany. I think it's like 93 or something like that. Someone let me know. I've lost complete track of the UFC Fight Nights. I'm only doing 4 picks. Let's get into it. First up, I'm choosing Nick Hein to beat Tai Hyun Bang. This could go either way. I think they might get a little reckless. Actually, it could be Fight of the Night, so it's kind of a toss-up there, but I am going with Hein. Next up, I'm choosing Ryan Bader to beat Ilir Latifi. I just think the longer this fight goes on, the more in favor of Ryan it is. I think he has a better management of his cardio, and I think his wrestling will eventually take him through. He may not be able to take him down or press upon him against in the first round, but eventually I think he will get the takedown. That's only if he stays away from Latifi's one-hit quitter, not to say that Ryan doesn't have punching power himself. And if he's trying to prove something with his striking, he could keep it standing longer than I think he should. I think he should definitely close the quarters, dirty boxing, wrestling, again, with the power punching that Latifi possesses. Plus, he's a good wrestler himself, big and strong as well, so it could go either way, but I am picking Ryan Bader. Next up, co-main event, we have Alexander Gustafsson versus Jan Blachowicz, and Jan Blachowicz is a very proficient MMA striker. There's a big difference between that and what Alexander is, which is a boxer, and he's probably the best boxer in the UFC. His footwork is amazing. He proved that against John Jones in that fight there. I mean, amazing footwork. He kind of rises to the occasion there. Alexander does. I think his hand speed is going to be much quicker than Jan's is. He doesn't actually have that much of a reach advantage, like a 1 or 2 inch reach advantage, but I think it's going to seem like he has a major reach advantage because he just uses it better, works within it better. His movement, his footwork, the hand speed, his angles. I just think he's a much better striker. Like I said, boxer, but this is MMA. His stand-up game is much better than Jan's is. I don't think Jan has the type of movement that's necessary to get in the punching pocket, because he's gonna have to get inside of Alexander's boxing range, even though, like I said, they have similar reach, but it's just going to seem like Alexander's is much longer because he's better at it. So I don't think that Jan has the type of movement necessary to get inside that. That's not to say that he won't. That's not to say that he won't pick out something we haven't seen before, because he's one that's always improving. We see growth from him every time we see him. So maybe he gets Alexander against the cage. Maybe he does well better with the dirty boxing there. I do think he's more of the power puncher, although Alexander is deceptively strong, but he is more of cumulative damage. We could see more kicks from Alexander as well. In fact, I think he should do that. I think it's going to be a good fight, though. Honestly, I think all these are going to be good fights. But I am choosing Alexander Gustafsson. Now, main event, and we're seeing Andrei Arlovski taking on Josh Barnett. This has been the hardest one for me to pick. I don't know. Both men have been kind of inconsistent. Not kind of, actually, inconsistent. And they're in that big heavyweight division where you're literally only like 3 wins away from a title shot and 3 losses away from being out of the title range, but then you win 2 and you're back in. It's ridiculous. Even though both men are like over 35, they're actually still right in there, because you mature older. Seems like they mature later, the heavyweights do. So they're still right in there. So it's a hard one for me to pick. Josh Barnett, of course, is a world champion Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tacticianer. He's one of the best, has some of the slickest submissions, some of the smartest submissions. He's able to bait his opponents into his submissions. He's also developed his stand-up game. As a heavyweight, they all have KO power. They're all capable of knocking each other out, so that's a given. I just think that Josh is a very smart guy and a smart fighter. He makes good adjustments inside the octagon, makes good choices. He has usually a good game plan, reads his opponents well. He's a good analyst of the fight game as well, so he just has a good mind for it, basically. I think he can be a little bit overconfident, because if you follow Josh Barnett, he kind of gets a little high on his own stuff sometimes. I think he gets a little overconfident, maybe like in the Travis Brown fight, you know what I mean? So now moving on to Andrei Arlovski. Been following him for a long time as well. He's got, of course, the Sambo champion, has great grappling and submissions as well, but I would say that Josh has the more slicker, smarter submissions, so he's the better submission artist in my opinion. But Andrei Arlovski, of course, has good ground and pound. I think his ground and pound might be better. He might be a bit stronger wrestler, although I'm not sure. I don't know which man's going to be actually physically stronger. When it comes to the dirty boxing, I think Andrei might be a little better at the dirty boxing, but again, Josh is such a slick striker. When it comes to dirty boxing, he might be able to slick those slick shots in there in close quarters. So again, I think Andrei's best bet would be to keep this in space, quite frankly. I think he's more dynamic in space. I think he has a little bit more tools, power tools. I think his kicks are a bit more powerful. I think his punches and things are a bit more powerful, and not that he throws power punches, but this his normal resting striking ability I think is just a bit more powerful than Josh's, and I think he should keep this standing and keep it in space. I wouldn't take my chances with someone who has the mind of a Josh Barnett on the ground or really again the dirty boxing, but we'll see how it goes, especially if Andrei turns out to be physically stronger. But again, I don't know. I'm taking a risk. I think they're both a risk because they're both inconsistent, but I'm going to go with Andrei Arlovski. I just have never really been a big Barnett fan, so that's what's kind of leaning me towards Arlovski really, but this can go either way. I would not be surprised if Josh submitted him in the first round, or you know what I mean. So please let me just let you know. Toss up. All right, let me know your picks, your injury updates. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where I will have 15-second predictions and recap videos. I'm on Snapchat now. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.